Good morning, good afternoon and good evening, whatever time you are watching and or listening to this. Welcome back to another episode of Drive Time Crypto with me, Crypto Chris, where I aim to bring you news and events that's going on within crypto and blockchain. On today's episode, we are going to take a journey around the price news as always, before we take a trip over to the ETF space, with that being a hot topic for today, before we travel down to Brazil and we have a look at what they're doing in the ways of embracing cryptocurrencies, before a short jaunt up to New York to see whether mining is possible there, before a trip back over to the UK to finish off our journey. With that being said, if I can ask a massive favour, a free way to support this channel is please could you give this video a like. If you could give me a comment telling me which altcoins you are currently looking at, and if you could please give this channel a subscribe. It really helps with the YouTube algorithms, and that way I can help grow this community and reach more people with the news. With that being said, let's start the engine and start this journey. So, first pit stop, price news as always, and we said on the video yesterday as it was coming to a close, there was about an hour and a half left. I weren't sure whether we're going to close the highest weekly candle ever, but just like that, Bitcoin shot up in price and closed above 60,000, setting a new record for it. With that, that has given positive feelings about Bitcoin, and it shows within the news, because anything that you saw really with price news, it was just all centric to Bitcoin and how it's going to go on and set great things. As this says, Bitcoin price hovers above 61 amid fresh concerns over fate of physical Bitcoin ETF. So when I checked the prices just before we started, it was around 61.5 at time of recording. It has held that above all day. So yeah, it seems like it's comfortable sat above the 60k mark at the moment. It's almost like we're just sat in this kind of limbo, whether to see whether it is going to set off and set an all new time high. And it says Bitcoin open interest hints at Bitcoin price action to hit 100k soon. So you can go on all the news outlets. There is multiple price predictions. 100k being one of the popular, 130 is a popular one. They just see it that we've just got to get past this 64k price range, the all-time high, and once we've broke through that, then it's off to the races. And depending on which price prediction you see, it depends on how far you think the price will go up. It ranges from, I think the lowest and conservative one I've seen is 72, anywhere up to 280,000. So it really is crazy, the kind of spectrum of where people are thinking Bitcoin's going to go. But nevertheless, people do believe that Bitcoin is on its way up, and there is no stopping this momentum at the moment. It's just hanging around, trying to figure out what it wants to do with the ETF news, which is hanging over its head, which was supposed to launch on Monday. People thought that it was going to begin to trade on Monday, but nevertheless it didn't. And here we are today, and we will be discussing that shortly in the video. Other price news. So Ethereum to test crucial resistance at 3.9 thousand. Ethereum price to hit 4k soon. Well, this is pretty much, it's inevitable. You can't have all the action, all the transactions, all the stuff being built on the Ethereum blockchain and not see these prices logically. At the beginning of this recording, we were roughly around, I think it was 3.7 thousand. So why it wouldn't hit 3.9 thousand of course it's going to. It'd be daft if it didn't. And the blockchain's looking healthy at the moment with all the transactions. Granted, the transaction fees are high, but that isn't deterring the volume that's going on there. So if high transaction fees aren't deterring it, why would it not go and test these marks and go on to hit 4,000? So again, it's just positive price news. I think they're just looking for something to write and put out there, and at the moment they're just making very conservative price predictions. And that was the Ethereum price news. There was a touch of XRP gearing up for major rally as two low cap altcoins carve out bottom, predicts top crypto analysis. And Mike Novogratz says XRP price tripled this year despite the SEC lawsuit. So the XRP community is one of the strongest communities for believing and having faith within that cryptocurrency and that blockchain, that ledger, and it never seems to waver regardless of what's going on. And subsequently, with what Mike Novogratz is saying, is back again with what he observed about the XRP price of late. This time he noticed that despite the waves of never-ending Ripple SEC lawsuit, XRP price has tripled this year. So yeah, the community and the holders of XRP, there is a lot of stuff going on in the background, and I'm not going to go into it. I wish that the case would be over, and I'm not saying that I want it to be over for any particular reason. I just think that it would be good for it to be over, because then you can remove the ifs and buts and whats, and just really let XRP do its thing. So regardless of the outcome of that case, I think that the attention isn't there now, and I think that people just want to see what XRP can do without that hanging over them on the back. So yeah, it's nice to see that XRP are in the news and people are still believing. Like I said, though, the community is strong within XRP and it's never really stopped believing. So yeah, it'll be exciting to see. There's a bit of belief that XRP is the one that's always last to show its hand, last to see any really big price movements, and it's just biding its time as always. That's the kind of sentiment and the belief within the XRP community. So it'd be nice to wait and see whether history repeats itself and it does go on this late run. Who knows? It might not do. It might do, and we might see that the lawsuit has nothing to do with it whatsoever. So it's an interesting one, but that was really your price news. There was a little bit more, which is world's richest billionaire Elon Musk tweets again, raising Shiba Inu over 20% higher. So you might remember back earlier this year, Elon Musk tweeted about Bitcoin, and it was him that was put as a catalyst for the downturn in the middle of the year, that he came out and said, no, we don't believe in Bitcoin. It's not environmentally friendly, and hence the prices came tumbling down. And now apparently he's tweeted, and it didn't really make much sense, the tweet, but it apparently made sense to a lot of people, because it consisted of 2 brackets, 2 underscores and 3 slashes and an emoji of a rocket. And that was enough to send Shiba Inu's value 21% higher. Now, I've got nothing against Shiba Inu. I don't personally hold any of it. I've no interest in holding any of it, but I know that it's a very popular coin, and I do believe that stuff is trying to be built on it, and there's a real sentiment and a real passion about this coin. My only concern is that it seems to entice a lot of new investment from people that are new to the market, and then they see this happen and they believe that yes, it's a great coin. It's rose by 21%, but he who giveth can taketh away as well. And it's been shown that with the flick of a few buttons, Elon Musk could decide that Shiba Inu isn't the one, and it could be as simple as in buying a dog, a different breed of dog, and then all of a sudden it's falling out with the Shiba Inu, and the price can plummet. And if you're new to the market and you're not really aware of these kind of price shifts, then all of a sudden the money that you've put in, because your friends told you that they're seeing great returns on it, and Elon Musk is a champion, and this, that, and the other, and all of a sudden the coin has gone absolutely through the floor, and they've lost a lot of money. And some of these people that are getting into it, they're a bit naive, and they can't sometimes afford to lose that money. And that's where I really feel like torn with a coin like this, that yeah, it's got that feel good factor, yeah, it's got a lot of people in it, and it's not too serious, but then when you get the kind of manipulation with such a strong character like that, I feel like it can entice more people in, and there's a lot more risk of a lot of people getting burnt, and that's what I don't want to see. I do want to see people within this space, and I do want to see as many people coming into cryptocurrency and understanding the blockchain technology and the benefits that it could bring to the world. But I don't want them getting hurt. And I know that people should always do their own research and understand what they're investing in, but it's very easy to say that. But if you're brought in on a hype train because your friend's in there and you want to be like them, and it's very easy to get caught up in the whirlwind. And it's all right for people like Elon Musk that have got a lot of money, a lot of wealth, and they've not really got to worry about anything financially as such, because they are, well, he's the richest man. He really doesn't have anything to worry. But you understand where I'm coming from. These prevalent people that have got a lot of money that just have a little bit of fun sending the tweets, because I think it reads on Elon was quick to reply rather sarcastically, saying, "I've thought about it and I'm not sorry for party rocking." Well, it's all right when the party rocking is going positive, but if he was to rock the party negatively, then what effect can that have on a lot of people? That, it's one to be wary of. And really, that was all the price news that's about at the moment. There's not a great lot because, like I said, I think the market's in a bit of limbo at the moment, waiting to see what occurs with this ETF that should be launched today. And with that being said, let's pull away on this journey from this pit stop of price news, and let's go to the next one. So, the next pit stop on our journey, you cannot get away from this news, and it's literally everywhere. I could have 1,000,001 tabs from 1,000,001 different websites all saying the same thing, but ETF is the hot topic. And it's a hot topic in multiple different ways. This reads, breaking: the first ever Bitcoin future ETF in the USA to debut on Tuesday. The first ever Bitcoin ETF from ProShares is all set to debut on the New York Stock Exchange on Tuesday. So this was put down to the price rally from Friday, and there's a lot of speculation that it's going to do great for the space and for the industry, and it's going to bring in a lot of investment. I went over it in another video yesterday. I won't go over it too much again today. Hopefully it does launch today, because like I said, I feel like the market's in a bit of limbo at the moment, waiting to see what the next move is after this launches, to see what it does, where the market might be moving, what's the sentiment once it's been launched. I think it's very much they're just holding the breath at the moment, because this is new water for the United States. They've never had this kind of ETF before, even though there's different ETFs around the world, but this is the first one for the USA, and that has been an ETF of sorts. Should we say it's mutton dressed in lamb's clothing, because you've got the Grayscale institution that predominantly they hold the most amount of Bitcoin across the globe. There's nobody that holds more Bitcoin than them. They are the largest custodial people of Bitcoin, and they are hinting at plans to convert Bitcoin Trust into Bitcoin settled ETF. So there is this feeling that now that there is going to be an ETF today on the New York Stock Exchange, this is going to open the floodgates. There's going to be multiple companies that are now going to start up all different sorts of all sorts of different ETFs. Now, whether that will happen or not, I do not know, because ever since 2013, since the Winklevoss twins tried to get one through, there has been multiple attempts to get a ETF launched within the USA, and not one of them has ever been successful. I can't remember how many we've heard about this year already alone, and none of them have gone through yet. So just because one kind of ETF has successfully made it through, there is still a long way to go, I feel, before this kind of ETF can be pushed through. But who knows? If anybody could do it, I'd like to think that Grayscale could do it with the amount of institutional investments there is within their arrangement, the amount of money they've got, the amount of knowledge they've got, the amount of experience they've got. And with that all packaged together, you've got to think that they know people that are of a very high nature within the kind of decision making people. So who knows? We'll wait and see. But the news is, again, it's just ETFs. Jacoby Asset Management aiming to launch world's first Tier 1 Bitcoin ETF. And it's quite funny how well timed it is that all of a sudden these are trying to do this, or just as one ETF is about to launch. It's either remarkably lucky timing or savvy business. But there's nothing to say that they knew that this ETF, futures ETF, was gonna launch and get past. So I think it might be a little bit from column A, a little bit from column B. But nevertheless, UK-based Jacoby Asset Management claims to have received approval for the launch of what the firm is calling the world's first Tier 1 Bitcoin ETF. According to the company's press release, the Jacoby Bitcoin ETF is a centrally cleared crypto-backed financial instrument authorised by the Guernsey Financial Service Commission and with the custody provided by Fidelity Digital Assets. So again, it's another company that's trying to get an ETF through because they appreciate that with ETFs, and if you can get the right one through to the right market, the money that will flow into your company through that ETF will be unbelievable. And that's why they're all desperately fighting to be the first one to get it through, because they know that the first one that they get through, granted, once they've got one through, all the rest of the companies will just mimic that paperwork and change it ever slightly to work for their proposition, and it won't be long until there's lots and lots of more approved. But the first one to get the real one through, I feel it's going to be like that first mover market where they're the ones that what I'm trying to say is that a lot of the money that is desperate to get into these kind of markets through an ETF will be already in that ETF, and the ones that follow, there will be money that goes into it, and there'll be a hell of a lot of money, but this one that gets through first is going to be the one that nails it. So yeah, it's interesting times. I've tried not to go on about it too much, because I'm pretty sure that you've already read a lot about it or heard a lot about it. Plus B, albeit I do understand them, I am not completely au fait about them, and I don't want to try and talk about something that I'm not 100% confident about, because the last thing I want is people to think that I'm just chancing the kind of information that I'm giving over. I'm just giving you my opinion on them and my knowledge on them to the level that it's at the moment. But yeah, exciting times. It's an exciting Tuesday because, like we said, it's the first one ever to be launched in the United States. Let's see what it does for the price. Let's see what it does for the markets. It's going to be exciting to keep on checking the price news today, and let's see what it does. And with that being said, let's pull out of this pit stop and carry on our journey. So the next pit stop along this journey is to Brazil, and it says, Brazil's central bank reports citizens purchased 4.2 billion in crypto in 2021. Brazilian zeal for cryptocurrency was recently confirmed by their 2021 crypto purchases. The exclusive central bank report revealed that the nation's residents have bought $4.2 billion worth of crypto since January 2021. Now, this is great news, because it shows that the country is very, very open to cryptocurrency. And I believe that the more countries that we get that are becoming well versed within cryptocurrency, the better the space will become, the stronger it will become, the more adoption it'll become, and the more mainstream it'll become. So hearing this kind of news is really, really strong. I know that it's in Latin America again, where you see a lot of adoption in Latin America, and it's quite interesting because there's a lot of inflow to the country, and there's not much outflow of cryptocurrency going out of the country. So with that, when we've heard news not that long ago that Brazil were thinking about making a national legal tender of cryptocurrency, I'm not sure which one they said, whether it would be Bitcoin or a different one, but when you've got that many people spending that much money within the country, because they can't mine their own crypto at the moment, energy in Brazil is that expensive that it's not worth them trying to mine crypto, because it'll cost them more to mine it than what they'll get back because of the energy costs. But the fact that there's still all that crypto flowing in, and there's all that belief and the will to have the crypto in the country, the fact that they could make it a legal tender in there is, I don't feel like they're going to see much resistance. I feel like there's going to be a real good strong adoption in there, and it'd be really interesting, and I hope that we see it soon. I hope that we see a lot of countries adopting cryptocurrencies, not as a form of legal tender. I feel like that's the way it's going to go anyway, because as more and more people get into this space, I feel that we're going to have to start adopting cryptocurrencies. Otherwise, all that's going to happen is people are just going to, once they understand wallets and sending them to addresses, and they don't need to touch any sort of central bank fiat system, then even if it isn't legal tender, it's going to become the tender anyway. Because if you know that you can send it from one wallet to another and you don't have to put the banks in it, then instantaneously, the moment that they think that the banks are being cut out the middle, guaranteed that they'll start to adopt it then, because then they'll want to regulate it, they'll want to understand what's going along with it, and it just gives them a better understanding. And this is why I can see it being adopted more. But yeah, good for Brazil. As you can see here, another one, Central Bank of Brazil reports Brazilians have bought more than 4 billion in cryptocurrency this year. So yeah, good for them for believing in it and investing in it, and bringing it to their country and holding it within their country. I can see good things coming for Brazil with crypto, and I look forward to seeing more reports from it. And with that being said, let's pull out of this pit stop and carry on our journey. So the next pit stop, we are stopping in New York, where it reads, local businesses in New York urge governor to impose statewide Bitcoin mining moratorium. So it says the governor in New York State, Kathy Hochul, has been urged by a group of local companies to deny business permits to Bitcoin miners. The letter specifically asked for the denial of permits for the Greenwich generating station and the 40 Star North Tonawanda facility. The letter also calls for the New York government to assess the proof of work digital currency mining in the state, as local businesses believe proof of work mining drastically undermines New York's climate goals. Now, on one hand, I think it's brilliant that there is local businesses and there is people willing to stand up and champion climate change, environmental change, and stuff that may be detrimental to the environment within their local area. I think that's brilliant, and I'll never say that people shouldn't be doing that. And I think it's applaudable, and I think they're doing the right thing. But playing a bit of devil's advocate here, why not think outside the box ever so slightly? Because I appreciate the kind of the fuel that's being used to use this mining, or the wanting to use in this mining. But imagine, instead of saying, let's ban it, let's not do it, let's just force them out. That's great. That's going to help your area. It's going to help your state, your city be a little bit more climate friendly. Now, imagine if you flipped it on its head and instead of banning it, you made them impose sanctions upon that mining. So, okay, you want to mine here, you want to mine in our state, that's fine. But due to the energy consumption that you are using to do that, unless it is green energy, we are going to put sanctions on you where you get taxed. And that is a green tax. And that tax then can go to different businesses. Say it could set up a fund, a green fund, that local businesses can then access them funds to make their companies a more green, sustainable, environmentally friendly company. Would that not make more sense? So yes, while you are not being very environmentally friendly with the mining because you are using the fossil fuels within these stations, well, why not offset that with more companies becoming more green or even starting their green journey off the back of this? So therefore the pros outweigh the cons through all this. I just feel like it's very much, let's ban it. No, we shouldn't do this. Stop. Well, no, just take a step back and think, well, how can we make this positive? How can we improve our city, our state by allowing this? And if we can, brilliant. I just think that there just needs to be a little thinking outside the box, stop a minute and see how you can, because it's going to happen. People are going to want to do this, and if it doesn't happen in your state, it will happen somewhere else, unfortunately. So you are not solving it for the globe, you are just solving it for your state. So that's why you might want to look into trying to get benefits out of it rather than stopping it, is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, it was popular news this. Again, New York State local businesses rally against crypto mining centres. So, but let's see what happens. They may not even ban it at all. This is another thing as well. So they've asked for it to be banned, but what happens if it doesn't get banned? What happens if it just gets allowed to go through? Then they're no better off, and they've used their leverage, or they tried to use a leverage to stop it, and now they've not got anything. So yeah, it'll be interesting to watch this to see whether they do allow it through, what sort of attitude they've got to it, because New York State has been renowned for not being that crypto friendly. So we'll wait to see how that gets on. But with that being said, let's pull away from this stop and go to our final stop of the journey. And it's over here in the UK. So I touched on this a couple of videos ago, and it's just a little bit of an update. The UK Gambling Commission issues a warning about Ethereum-based NFT platform. The UK Gambling Commission has issued a warning and a notice about fantasy football NFT platform Sorare.com. However, the gambling regulator did not take enforcement action against the platform, but warned players that its activity fall outside the country's scope of regulated gambling activity. So they've looked into it, and they're still going to carry out inquiries. Now they're warning people that are part of it that it's not within their regulation. So what I'd say is, if you do take part in this Sorare and you're enjoying it, just be mindful, because I can appreciate that if people got into this early, which I know some friends have, when the price of Ethereum was quite low, they've got plenty of cards with this, meaning that now their initial investment is worth a hell of a lot of money on that platform. And with the Gambling Commission looking into it, the last thing that you want is some sort of restriction imposed upon it, and then before you know it, you've got all this Ethereum tied up within the cards and your investment, and you're in the UK and you're struggling to get to it. Granted, there'll probably be ways around it, but it's just a little update, just to keep your eyes on this and see how it progresses, because obviously it's still gathering interest from the commission. So I'm expecting this won't be the last thing that we hear about Sorare and the Gambling Commission over here in the UK. And with that being said, that's the end of the journey. We're just going to have a quick trip around the price newses. And it is a lovely green day at the moment of this recording. And we are seeing a 2.8% rise to Bitcoin, still sat at 61,500, which is nice. Like I said, it's comfortable. It seems very comfortable above that 60k mark now. And it's going to be an interesting day on the price. Let's hope that it stays comfortable, if not higher, with this ETF. My thoughts is we might see a bit of a pullback with this ETF being launched, but who knows? And you've got a small increase of 0.8% for Ethereum. Binance is seeing a nice upturn of 5%. Cardano is not really moving anywhere. That's a 0.6% increase. XRP is back up 1.5. Solana is sat at 0.5% increase. Polkadot at 0.7% of an increase. And Doge seeing a nice big turn up in the top 10 of a 7.1% increase. So yeah, that's your top 10 coins. All green, all looking good. And yeah, it's an exciting day. So with that being said, thank you very much for watching my video. Thank you very much if you have commented or liked this video, and really thank you very much if you've subscribed. This is never ever financial advice, and I am not a financial advisor. But with that being said, I wish you the best day you can possibly have on this Tuesday, and let's see what the ETF has in store for us. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video. Bye.